Gundam.tk presents Seravee Gundam. Hey, what's up everybody? Robert 184 2Rs 2Bs, and welcome to my review, this time of the 1/100th non-grade Seravee Gundam. Welcome back everybody, and don't forget that you can check out the earlier parts to see all the details and all the parts of both the Seravee and the Seraphim Gundam, but I think it's time to put them together. Putting this together is just like any of the others from the 00 Gundam line of 100 kits. So when the legs are put together, you can put them like this. They don't close all the way, of course, because there's ankle armor down there. As I said before, the feet have a fair bit of mobility, but not a lot side to side. But the side armor, I thought it would get in the way more than it does, but actually I haven't had any problems with it. But you can pull that up. For getting the legs out, this is as far as you can split them, so you're not going to be able to do the splits. Coming forward, this gets in the way a little bit, but actually if you pull that up and out of the way, you can get the legs up about this high, so not quite a 90 degree. And bending at the knees, it comes to about like this. So you can put the leg back. Inside the chest here is the same empty cavity, so if you want to put in some sort of lighting system, no problem at all. So the arms, just slap them on, both of the shoulders. Once the arms are on, you can move them up this much with the shoulder. The arm, like I said before, you can bring it up to do the 135. So just before I put the head on, I noticed that in the manual it warns you that you have to put this poly cap in properly when you're putting it in the neck, and I thought I did, but putting the head together squeezed it out of place, so it's not going to fit on. So you have to take the head apart, so make sure you do that properly when you're putting it together the first time. So faster than the old guy in Gundam 00, you can fix up all the parts, and there you have it. The 1/100th Seravee Gundam. Of course, it's size comparison time, so here it is next to the 18-meter original Gundam, in this case the Master Grade version 2.0. Stacks up really well, but you can really get an idea of the bulk of the Seravee. Here it is next to the Arios Gundam. Of course, you can check out reviews for all of these at gundam.tk. And here it is next to the 00 Riser, and in this case it looks a little bit taller, but that can be deceptive if you put the legs together here. But one thing about adding the O Riser to this is that it's going to continuously weigh it down and make it a little bit shorter. So I've just straightened up the 00 Gundam, and yeah, just a tiny bit shorter than the Seravee. Here's a look at all the 1/100th kits from Gundam 00, but stay tuned. Once all the individual reviews are done, I will have a retrospective on the group. Putting together the Seraphim is just as easy as anything else. Just use the ball joints on the legs. For Seraphim's leg mobility, the legs can go out that far. Coming forward, no problem at all getting a full kick. Of course you can bend it because it has some ankle mobility there, and it can bend in. Now this gives you an idea of the transformation that you're going to see, but fairly good mobility, and you can bring the ankles in so that if you want to do a flat pose, but you're not going to be able to spread them much further than that. Close up the face, pull this back, use the sliding piece to cover up the back, and then it actually has a nice little locking place there, and then just put the arms on. For the upper body mobility, there's no problem really spinning the arms around, and you can get the shoulders to bend up like this, and of course they're on a pivot point. That has to do with the transformation. If you move these two black parts up and out of the way, the green part does look sharp there, you can actually do a fair bit of things, but you're not going to be able to get the arms to do anything more than a 90-degree angle here. So there you have it, the 1/100th Seraphim Gundam, all put together. So here's the Seraphim next to the Seravee, and of course it's significantly smaller, and it looks a little bit spindly, but not as bad as I thought. And here we'll just do the spins, 45s. Really, you don't need me to announce this, do you? So let's see them put together now. To transform the Seraphim into the backpack, it's a little bit of plug and play. So you detach the head, And down here on the leg there are two parts here, and you'll pull those off of both sides, and the fists don't retract, you just pull them off. So I suggest hanging onto them somewhere with the antennas out of the way, and you make the arm as solid as you can by locking it in up here. Well, not locking, but it does go in firmly. Turn that, and then bend that over for both sides, and of course these are going to reach over the head of the Seravee. The next thing to do is to slide this up, and you may be able to see that it's on a sliding part there. Slide that forward, and now it looks much more like a Gundam face with its regular camera up at the top. To get the leg in place and out of the way, basically bring it forward, and then you'll bend it down here, so then it reveals the gray part. And then once you get the ankle here, there's a little tab on the back and a little slice in the back of the thigh. So if you slide that in and up, it will actually bind into place and put the foot up. And you're going to have some flexibility here, like you can move this and get them into the right position. The connection mechanism on the back of the Seravee is basically there are 4 pegs that stick out here and 1 large one there, and those are going to line up over here with the Seravee. Now somebody who's a lot better than me can do it, but if you're good at stop motion photography, you could do a pretty cool detached scene of the Seraphim hopping off of the Seravee. But actually the connection up here worked really well. It feels tight and it doesn't feel like it's going to come off. Once you add on the backpack, the overall bulk of the Seravee really seems to increase, and something that I like are the 2 yellow antennas that stick out at the back. The holes in the cannons are still a problem, but you notice that especially in the light when it's reflecting off the green paint. But so far, I think once we add all the weapons, this is going to be a pretty big looking Gundam. So here's a size comparison with the Caradum, and you can see that these two really do add a lot of height to it, and now it does look significantly bigger, I think. When you add on the weapons, that is increasingly looking like a very weaponized Gundam. And please check out part 4 because there are a lot of weapons combinations and you can see them all. Thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget, I now have 2 mini Gundam reviews up, and you can check them all out on YouTube at www.gundam.tk.